You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Chiro Thin, Universal Tractioning Systems, Chiro Moguls, Zingit Solutions, Dr. Pete Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Everest Coaching Systems, Rhino Coaching, 5-Star Management, The Goodman Factor, Chiro Health USA, Max, Mahalo Wellness, and Chiro Expert. Let's hustle.
Hey everybody, Jim Chester coming to you live today. This is a co-branded edition today. This is Pete Goldman coming in from San Francisco, California. And I am coming in from Grand Junction, which is in the Grand Valley on the western slope of Colorado, which I like to say it's where no one lives. And I moved here. Why? Because I wanted to hear the birds chirp. Boom. So I have Dr. Pete. Pete is doing something really amazing for the chiropractic world, and he teaches people the Zone School of Healing. And the Zone School of Healing is something that's really special, near and dear to my heart, because I know he gets results. So based on the results that Dr. Pete is getting, he is doing a free class. Actually, it's not a free class, but he's opening it up to non-zone people. And in the link above, you can click on that. And what is the cost of this event you're doing?
I forgot. They have to click the link, but we're making it super cheap. I think I forgot. Just click the link. It's super cheap. Cool. Yeah. So basically, like Jim said, the Zone School of Healing opened up almost 2 years ago. I never intended to do live events. It was not even on my radar to do a live event. But my students were like, "Hey, can we do a live event?" I'm like, "You don't need a live event. We have everything you need is in the Zone School online." And but they convinced me to. So I first did a live event in Atlanta a little while back. People loved it. Then we did a live event in Vegas. People loved it. Then I did a live event in Chicago. People loved it. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to let non-Zone School members in these live events, because so far the only people that can come to live events are Zone School members. But I'm like, you know what? Any chiropractor, any chiropractic student is welcome. So we're having one in Atlanta. Like Jim said, I believe it's July 2021. We're making it super inexpensive. We have an early bird link, which Jim posted, and you can come learn from me. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, I have, like in Chicago, I had two of the guys in the Chicago seminar were Pinnacle owners. If you know about Pinnacle, these guys do quite well. They adjust, like, I think one of the guys was doing 600 a week. So here's a guy who is one of the owners of Pinnacle, and was in the seminar with me all weekend. And he said to me after, "Pete, I learned more in these 2 days in Chicago with you than I've learned in over 20 years of practice." So here's a guy who is seeing 600 a week, is one of the owners of Pinnacle, knows what he's doing, and said, "Pete, I've learned more in the last 2 days with you than I've learned in 20 years of practice about healing." Now, at the same time, I have some people who are struggling. People like, "Yeah, I was ready to start selling real estate, ready to hang it up. I was so fed up with chiropractic." And now they take my seminars or they take my school and they're like, "Man, I can't wait to go to work." So I'm trying to help, whether it's a chiropractor who's struggling, I'll help you. If it's a chiropractor who's already doing great, you can do greater. And here's the one thing. Let's just say someone's like, "I'm doing great." That's cool. Actually, you don't even have to come to my seminar or take my school. But when you say you're doing great, you might be seeing a lot of people and you might be getting some pretty good results, but there's no way you're getting the kind of results you can get once I teach you. Just no way. It's not even a conversation. I'm not even going to have the conversation. It's not even worth discussing, but I guess I would if someone really wants to discuss that with me. Meaning, when chiropractors are going to work, they're seeing mostly neck and back pain. It's kind of pathetic, but even the ones who are going beyond that and kind of tell the story and they're helping people with this and that, it's really like 3% of their practice, these so-called miraculous cases. No, not so-called. These miraculous cases is 3% of their practice. For me, it's 90% of my practice. People come with Lyme's disease, supposed to get their gallbladders out, MS, whatever, and getting results they can't get anywhere else. And I can teach you how to do this. So check out the Zone School, do what I'm doing, do what my students are doing. And as a nice little intro to you, come to this live weekend. And by the way, the live weekend, you don't have to join the Zone School when it's over. Just take the live weekend. It's for non-Zone School students also. Of course, Zone School students can come, but it's for non-Zone School students also. And when it's over, you're welcome to join the Zone School, but you don't have to.
So, Pete, I know everybody that ever deals with anybody that's giving an offer, they want to know what's in it for me. I know that people are like, oh, okay, so this guy's talking about this guy that runs Pinnacle doing things with doctors, but what really is in it for them if they show up to the 20th and 21st in Atlanta?
Well, on the when you're in the town, you're in some town, wherever you are, you're a chiropractor, you're in wherever you live. And you want to differentiate yourself from the other chiropractors in your town because you want people to come to you. I mean, I'm in San Francisco. There's like 20 chiropractors on my block because the buildings are high. So you can get a lot of chiropractors in a building. I got 20 chiropractors on my block. It means nothing to me. If someone said, hey, can I get the office suite next door? Chiropractor say, yeah, come on in. I want chiropractors on both sides of me. It makes no difference because with the zone technique, your confidence is so freaking high because when someone comes into you, you know that you can deal with every cell in the body in the way the zones are set up. And your confidence level of helping people with anything, I mean, unless, God forbid, they're bleeding, they need stitches, or their appendix bursts, they have to get their life saved at some emergency room, they crash in their motorcycle. I mean, I don't do that stuff. But pretty much anything else, when you understand the zones, you can help. And most chiropractors don't have that confidence. At best, the ones that are pretty confident will say things like, hey, you're going to be better off with your subluxations relieved, so let's at least relieve your subluxations. But that's about as far as they'll go, even internally, what they think. But I've mentioned this before, probably on one of our talks, but had a woman come in like 2 months ago, chief complaint. I'm like, hey, what brings you here? And she's like, oh, I was told I need my gallbladder removed because I have so many gallbladder attacks. And she didn't want her gallbladder removed. That's her chief complaint. Chief freaking complaint is an MD told her because of your frequent gallbladder attacks, you need your gallbladder removed. And she's like, hey, I don't know what you do. I don't know how this relates to chiropractic, but I heard about you. You take care of this stuff. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And, it's 2 months later. She has no more gallbladder attacks. Of course, she has her gallbladder. She will not get it out. And her gallbladder is as healthy as anyone. To have the confidence to do that, for me, that's like helping a stiff neck. It's nothing for me. But, am I revolutionizing chiropractic? Am I changing what chiropractic is? No, I'm doing what D.D. Palmer did. Just read D.D. Palmer's book, Chiropractor's Adjuster, and look what people came into him for. And I've said to Jim before, and I'll say it again, D.D. Palmer had a 55, he has, or if you go to Chiropractor's Adjuster, D.D. Palmer has a 55-page glossary of diseases. And he tells you what bone to adjust to fix them. So this is nothing new. This is 1895 chiropractic, 1910 chiropractic. It just happens to be through the method of the zone technique, which I think is the best one. But this is just, the gallbladder thing. I had someone fly in with people flying from all over the world. Not 2 weeks goes by where someone's not flying into me from all over the world, somewhere in the world. I had someone fly in from Boston last week. 19 years old, had to drop out of college because of Lyme disease symptoms. And I probably shouldn't even say how she's doing because no one will believe it. But let's just say she's pretty thrilled. So to have that confidence, come to the seminar.
Yeah, I was actually at a seminar this past weekend, and I was talking with a group of chiropractors. They're a couple, and they've both been practicing over, I think, 25 years or so. And they have some health challenges with one of their kids. And I was saying to them, I was like, I'm sure you guys are so well connected. I'm sure you know everybody under the sun that you could actually send your daughter to that could get care from. I was like, and I care about you. I was like, I pray for you. I want the best for you and your family. I was like, there's one person out there that I would send you to that I would absolutely have full faith in if you did not get the result you're looking for. His name is Dr. Peter Goldman. He's out in San Francisco, California. I was like, just watch my lives. I always do lives with Dr. Pete. I was like, if you do need somebody that can help sort out your concerns and your healing challenges with your daughter, reach out to me or reach out to Dr. Pete. And I was like, just go out there for 2 weeks, get adjusted multiple times, and we'll see if we can put this concern to rest. And you guys get your energy, your vitality back. Because honestly, dude, they've been living at the hospital. They're not even like really seeing each other as much as they should as a family. And it's really, as you probably have noticed, when people have these great entrenched health challenges, it deteriorates everything around the family unit. It challenges the energy, it challenges the happiness, it challenges not only the health, but it challenges everything that's a vibration around the harmony.
So 3 things. 1, Jim, thanks for the confidence in the referral. 2 is, yes, whoever those people are, bring your kid to me. And 3 is, this is a great example because we're doing this live now. Let them bring the kid and let them come on in a month or whatever and say, yeah, the kid's all better. And, they're both chiropractors. I'm sure the kid's getting adjusted all the time. But look what's happening. So I want to just add to that. Number 1, and I've mentioned this before, but I had this patient come in once. She's, I think she was like 24, and she was getting frequent eye infections. That was her chief complaint. So she just would get like an eye infection every month. So that's like 12 eye infections a year. And, she'd basically go to the eye doctor. They give some kind of, I guess, eye drops, and then the infection would go away. But she was getting 12 eye infections a year. Well, her dad is a DE doctor. So she's been getting adjusted since she was like 1 day old with the traditional, I don't know what he was doing. But anyway, she started coming to me, and we cleared her zones, which no one else is doing unless they're in the zone school, cleared the zones properly, and she never got any eye infections anymore. And that's when I had one more thing, and it's another eye story. It's just coincidentally an eye story. I've mentioned this before also, but Razzie Berry, who helps run my zone school with me, you could Google her. She's pretty famous, Razzi Berry, like the fruit. Razzie Berry is, she's the founder of a naturopathic journal, and she just really understands like branding and marketing. That's why I hired her. But anyway, Razzie told me, I don't know when it was, I forgot when it was, but whatever, it was half a year ago, that her daughter, and I'm not violating patient confidentiality because Razzie has announced this many times to the world. So everyone, she's made it clear. Her daughter, who's a little kid, I don't know how old she is, like 9, I don't know how old she is, 10, I'm not sure. But she woke up one day, or it happened over time, but her eyes were really like having an issue where they would just like go to one side. They were involuntarily shooting to the side, and then she would close her eyes super tight involuntarily. And, Razzie's pretty connected. So she went to chiropractic, good ones, naturopaths, good ones, eye doctors, pediatricians. No one did nothing. No one did shit. And I said, just fly out with a kid for 3 days. We'll wrap it up. 3 days, zone technique, kid's eyes were perfect. They are perfect. It's over. So I just gave 2 eye examples, not on purpose, but they just popped in my head. But yes, I'm down to prove any of this. So anyone's welcome to come.
Well, and that was it. And they were saying, so what does this guy do? And I'm not making any of this up. They're sitting there like I can see like the fear in their faces because their daughter's so like not thriving. And I could see the fear in their face. And I said, they're like, so what does this guy do? I go, well, he touches these like 6 points on the back of your head. He finds out where there's the most tender, and then they adjust the zone associated with that thing. And they're like, so is this like SOT? And I go, and that's just it, Pete, is I wanted you to like kind of like, I know we talk about this topic a lot as well because we've been on like an interview like once a week for the past 5 months. But when we talk about this, Pete, SOT deals with, I think, like 24 points or something, and you're dealing with like 6 points.
I'll explain that.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This week's episode is brought to you by Close for Chiro, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Imaging Services, Chiro Thin, Universal Tractioning Systems, Chiro Moguls, Zingit Solutions, Dr. Pete Goldman's Zone School of Healing, Everest Coaching Systems, Rhino Coaching, 5-Star Management, The Goodman Factor, Chiro Health USA, Max, Mahalo Wellness, and Chiro Expert. Let's hustle.
So first of all, let me start by saying I like SOT. It's probably one of the best techniques, actually, in my opinion. So I'm not diminishing or making fun of or mocking SOT. It's actually a very good technique. And any SOT doctor out there who's getting great results, I tip my hat to you, period. Nothing else to say. But as long as people are asking about the occipital fibers with the zones in SOT, because SOT does check occipital fibers, as part of their overall protocol at times. So people say, oh, Dr. Pete, the zone technique is checking the back of the head, the occipital fibers, maybe it's like SOT. Okay, so let's be clear. It's not. It's nothing to do with each other. SOT is feeling 7 points across on one side of the back of the head with 3 levels. That's 21 points. That's number one. Zones is feeling 6 points on one level, the superior nuchal line. So they have nothing to do with each other. Number two, when I feel the back of the head, those 6 points, I'm finding out what's happening in the 6 brain centers that control the glands, elimination organs, nerve system, digestive system, muscle system, circulatory system. SOT is feeling those points to figure out vastly different things. They have nothing to do with each other. In fact, this is how much they have to do with each other, just so it's really clear. I've said it so many times. If you go to a good acupuncturist, I mean, I don't know much about acupuncture. I don't think Jim does either, but we know enough to know they put needles in you. So if you went to a really good acupuncturist, they said, hey, your liver meridian needs help. I'm going to put a needle right here to open up your liver meridian, or whatever they do. Well, that's a pretty specific needle, right? Now, later that day, if you're like sewing and you like prick your finger, well, you put a needle in your finger. But as you can see, those 2 needles in the body have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. This is a specific thing in the meridian point from an acupuncturist, and this is you at home sewing and you just prick your finger. That's how much an SOT doctor has to do with me when I feel the back of the head. Nothing to do with it whatsoever. And I've said this before, but maybe people haven't watched before, or maybe these people are watching, or you'll send it to them so they can know. Most chiropractic techniques, I think everyone besides the zone technique, but I did hear recently there's one other technique that actually kind of addresses this. So maybe there is. I think it was BEST, but it does it differently. But most chiropractic techniques believe in what's known as the safety pin cycle, which means that the brain is sending signals down the cord. And then if you relieve subluxation, you take nerve pressure off. And then because there's no more nerve pressure, the brain can send the right signal to the cells, which is great. But the problem is that the brain is often not sending the right signal in the first place. So I would say, who cares that you are now relieving the subluxation and opening the pathway of a brain signal to the cell? We have to make sure the brain is sending the right signal in the first place. The zone technique can do that because the points on the head tell me what's happening in the brain and tells me where to stimulate the spinal cord to reset that brain center. The zones are a spinal cord stimulation technique. They are not an intersegmental bone moving technique like a Gonset or whatever. Nothing wrong with Gonset either, but just giving an example. Listen, I love results. You know, if someone's like, hey, wait a second, I don't know what this guy's talking about. I do network and I get great results. People come to me who have debilitating migraines and now they don't have them anymore. People come with horrific digestive trouble and now they don't have them anymore. People come with autoimmune diseases and now their immune system is strong. Good. You don't need the zone school. You're doing great. But most people don't know how to do that stuff. I do. I know how to teach it. My students know how to do it. So people come into me with these so-called horrible autoimmune diseases. It's like fixing a stiff neck for me. It's nothing. Give me 2 months, I'll have a great immune system. Great. I don't mean just like compared to how crappy it was before. I mean great compared to anybody's.
So let's talk about Atlanta again. I know that you're doing it on the weekend of the 20th or 21st. It's about 4 weeks out, maybe just around the corner. But let's talk a little bit. You're going to allow non-zone school attendees there. So this is kind of a new thing. I know you're also doing this in Europe coming up in August. So why are you opening up the opportunity for people to come in that aren't in the zone school?
Well, I guess the answer is I don't know, but I'll do my best to think of it. I think really, Jim, at the end of the day, I used to say, I don't want, because chiropractors would keep contacting me. Hey, can I come to this event? I'm like, no, it's only for zone school students. Because in my head, I'm thinking the zone school students, they have access to like 40, 50 hours of me, recorded to study when they join the zone school. So I figure they're coming to these events with so much of a foundation. I can talk about some pretty high stuff right off the bat. But I said, there's so many chiropractors that keep saying, can I come to the thing? So you know what? In the first couple hours on Saturday, I'll give enough of a foundation and then we can really start rolling. And the zone school students who are already members, they can come, they'll get a ton out of it. And there's people who are just chiropractors who are not in zone school. they can come and get a ton out of it. And like Jim alluded to, I'm teaching in Amsterdam in August. I forgot the date, like August 17th, 18th, I think. I don't have a calendar in front of me. But if you are a European DC, you should do that one. So all you got to do is email me at drpete@zoneschool. So sorry, take that back. You have to email me at drpete@zonetechnique.com, drpete@zonetechnique.com. Say, hey, I'm in Europe. I want to come to your European event. What's the deal with that? And I'll send you the link and everything like that. As far as the Atlanta event, Jim has it here. You could just click it, get your early bird special. That's cool. And by the way, let me just say that you might be wondering, yeah, well, it's in Atlanta, but where? My friend Melissa, who's in the Zone School, she kind of is organizing this event, and she's on the verge of like getting the exact hotel and everything. But you can safely make your flights, register for the thing, and then, in a couple of days we'll have like the exact location, so you could decide where you want to stay and all that. So that's how that works.
But I have one question here from a guy named Corey Singer. He says, "What would make the brain malfunction? Is it the traditional trauma, toxin, and thoughts?"
Great question, Doc. What makes the brain malfunction 99% of the time is negative emotions. Of course, like you said, it could be trauma. Like I said, God forbid someone crashes on their motorcycle. That's one. Or let's say someone is, poisoning themselves somehow. That's another. But that's the 1% between the two, in my opinion. 99% of it is fear, worry, anger, selfishness, greed, jealousy, hate, lack of forgiveness. That unbalances any human being, and you find those imbalances in the brain center. And if you really want to get technical, I can tell you how to feel someone's head, and not only in 20 seconds, I'll tell you what's happening in their brain, what's happening in their body. I'll tell you the emotion that caused it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because that's for the Zone School.
Well, cool, man. Is there anything that we didn't discuss today that you think we need to cover for everyone?
The only other thing I want to say is, if there's someone watching this and they're like, man, I'm convinced I want to try the Zone School, but I can't come to Atlanta. I'm busy that weekend. I just can't be there. Well, join the Zone School. I mean, Jim has another, Jim could post it later in the comments. He has a link to join the Zone School. And, the Zone School is 100% money back guarantee. So let's say you join the Zone School. When you join the Zone School, like I said, you get like 50 hours of me teaching or something like that. You're going to be thrilled, like pretty much everyone else is. But let's say you're like, I saw the interview and then I joined the Zone School and I didn't like it. It's 100% money back guarantee. Just get your money back. We don't play games. If whatever money you paid, we refund that exact amount back. We don't like start deducting like credit card fees and all that stuff. So you have nothing to lose. You're either going to join and be thrilled, or it's free. And I've heard it time and time again, Pete, this is the best decision I've ever made in my healing career. I've heard it so many times from the pinnacle guys, from the high-level AK guys, from the high-level chiropractic neurologists, from the activator guys, from the network people, from the upper cervical people. They all freaking love the Zone School. And the same thing with the people who are like, I was fed up with chiropractic. I was so frustrated. They love it. So I just say, and of course, if you want to come to Atlanta and you want to join the school, then you can come to Atlanta. Jim posted a link, and then we can post another link in the comments to join the Zone School. But I'm totally confident in what I'm teaching. There's no hypotheses here. These are facts. We have almost 400 students in the Zone School, and they're getting miraculous results all over the world. I see a comment came up, Jim. I just can't read the comment from my side.
It was the one that I had already addressed with Dr. Corey. He said, back to what would make the brain malfunction? Is it the traditional trauma, toxin, or thoughts? So, cool. I just popped that one up there. But I think anybody that is wise and wants to get into the flow of understanding how to become the massive healer in your community. And I think that when people understand that aspect, you become what a lot of people want to refer to as the go-to doctor. And I do think that chiropractors should be the first portal of entry for anybody with a healing condition that needs to become balanced out and start to transition into a better livelihood. So I know that we talked a lot about today about people coming to Atlanta on the 20th and 21st. Dr. Melissa Arnold is somebody that's helping you assemble this event down there. The link to join that event is up there in the comments. Click on that. It says click here. Dr. Pete, thanks for being my guest once again. We are a dynamic duo. It's kind of like Batman and Robin for the Zone School of Healing. So if you guys are interested, put comments down there. And yeah, if you guys just want to join the school, I'll post a link how you guys can join the Zone School of Healing. And like Pete says, it's a 100% money back guarantee. If you're not absolutely thrilled with your experiences of working with Dr. Pete in the Zone School of Healing, he will refund 100% of your money so that you are happy in your healing journey being the practitioner. I know it's never us against them or them against us. It's all of us together. So, Dr. Pete, thank you, man. I'm going to sign off here from Grand Junction, and I'll let you.
One thing before we sign off, if that's okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the Zone School of Healing, if you register for the Zone School of Healing itself, it's 100% money back guarantee. The Atlanta event, to be clear, is not money back guarantee, but everyone's going to. It doesn't matter. Everyone who comes will love it. But I'm just saying that just to be official. But it will blow you away. It'll be one of the, well, like I said, the pinnacle guy. I mean, what did I say at first? He's seeing 600 a week. He is one of the owners of Pinnacle. He tells me, I took a 2-day seminar with you. I learned more in 2 days than I learned in 20 plus years. But anyway, and the last thing I want to say is about Jim Chester and Chiro Hustle. You guys should support Chiro Hustle. In life, sometimes you take things for granted. Every day you turn on your freaking Facebook, there's Jim Chester's face 4 freaking times a day, running all over the country and the world to help you. What if one day you turned it off and Jim's like, screw it. Jim wins the lottery. He's like, I'm not going to work anymore. He's living in the Bahamas, sipping margaritas all day. You'll miss Jim Chester. So don't take Jim Chester for granted. He doesn't owe this to you. He's doing it out of his generosity and kindness and goodness of his heart. So support Jim Chester any way you can support him. Buy the Patience in a Box. Support whatever he does. Donate to him. Help him because he's only helping you. So that's my little comments on Jim Chester and Chiro Hustle.
Well, brother, last time we were on, you said something that really touched me is, I do wake up in the morning and I think how I can make the world a better place, especially for the chiropractic profession. And, working with you over the past couple of months, I've realized that you have the same vision in mind and you want to help the practitioner help the people. And I want to help the practitioners and the people. And I know that once we have that type of unity going, I always call it unity through diversity, is you do things a little bit different than all the other techniques that we do, but I support you because you support chiropractic and what you do supports the practitioner to become more certain. And the confidence is something that you said earlier is something that you can take cases from all around the world and people fly into you constantly. So knowing that you can do that and you can get those results. If you do have any questions for Pete or myself about how to support either one of us, I know the Zone School of Healing will support you. But like Pete said, if you do want to support Chiro Hustle, reach out to me. Actually, Pete, right now we have a waiting list for sponsors. So it's been pretty cool. And people are lining up. I have a call tomorrow with another guy to become a sponsor. And honestly, dude, it's almost overwhelming the amount of people that are supporting. So thank you for pointing that out to people as well. But yeah, I mean, I do love doing what we do. I love supporting the chiropractic profession. And people are just one story away. They're one healing experience away. They're one zone away. That could be your new tagline. You're one zone away. Keep healing. So you guys are just one story away. Keep hustling. Pete, I will catch you on the next interview. Okay, brother?
Awesome. Thanks, Jim.
All right. See you soon.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.